Yeah, it's 2016. Welcome to the 365 vlog. Let's go. People, today is September 20th, 2016, day 265 of the 365 vlog. And we're going to talk about recent police killings, shootings, things. So you haven't been keeping up with the news. There have been more police shootings in terms of just black unarmed men just being shot down. You can look them all up on the internet if you choose to. I don't really want to talk too much about like the event, but more so what this all actually means. There have been many times on this channel that I've talked about black unarmed men being shot, and this is just no different from that. But one of the things that I guess strikes my mind is that this year, I think in 2016, at least in terms of reported and what the media has been showing, it seems like there's been an uptick in the amount of violence towards unarmed black men. It seems to be a stigma that all of these shootings are warranted and that they're justified in some way or another. Maybe the man was doing something that the police said that he did, which may have not been actually the truth, or there may be otherwise in the case. And one of the things I think the recent shootings have infuriated a lot of people on are, first of all, the football player, I forget his name right now, he's the one who's been protesting by not standing up for the anthem, and he's got a shit ton of flack for it. But the moment that a black unarmed man is shot in the streets, it's not talked about, it's not even given a second thought. I've seen this sentiment shared all over the social media with all the people that I choose to interact with. And at this point, it's not even interesting as so much as it is America and its contradictions with itself. I think America will always protect its values, what it considers it to be its values, outside of what actually is the case. So the fact that the football player did not stand up for the anthem, the fact that he didn't stand up in it is like more of like a FU to America, and people who are American want to be prideful and want to say that we need to stand up for America, but that also in the same breath shows that when you don't stand up for the lives that are lost to black unarmed men, that just shows that there's a discord, meaning maybe if I were to like push this thought a little further, that black men actually aren't part of America, and that's why there's not really a problem. Get one step further and you look at the terrorist suspect. He was maybe a few weeks ago, I can't remember exactly when, but he was the guy who set off some like pot cookers, and he was able to get shot and taken away without dying lethally because they wanted to interrogate him. And I think that's the most important part of this. His life had more value than the black man who was unarmed, because they still needed something from this man, so they chose not to kill him. That speaks volumes, right? Because the black unarmed man who gets shot for just maybe doing nothing, and I'm not saying all the time they are unarmed or they're not in the right, but from what I have seen in all of these cases that have been broadcasted on the news and social media, 9.9 out of 10 times, the man who was shot, there was no reason for it. Absolutely no reason. Police in their system are not going to say that they did it. They're not going to own up to it. They will never do that. To show that there is a fallacy inside of your system is wrong. You cannot do that, because then we're going to need someone else new, and then we're going to have to kick them out, or whatever type of shit that's going to happen. And that's the really scary part. I think that's why a lot of people are scared, because they feel like no matter what they do, no matter where they go, they're not really free to actually go to those places or do anything at all. They will just get shot, like they're almost like animals or game to be played with and shown. And I mean, you'll never know what that person was thinking who shot them, but you can just discern a lot of ideas for maybe the area and who they are. Because a lot of the time that the people who do these shootings are white people, white males, maybe white females. In any capacity, they all work for law enforcement and find some way that they are scared. And this comes from like the segregated society that we live through due to our socioeconomic divide in America. Past history of slavery and all that good stuff. And now, since we're so divided, a lot of the things I think that have been ingrained since slavery times, I'm gonna say slavery times, are coming back, and they're not coming back in the sense, maybe let me reword that. They're not coming back. They're already ingrained, and since we're separated, there's no integration really. There's integration in the fact that you can walk on the same block, but even then stereotypes come into your head, and that's another negative thought that just strays away from my point. Hold on. I coined this term white fear that just comes to the fact that these officers aren't trained and don't understand the people that they're dealing with and have a predisposition about how they're going to act before they've even done anything, on top of their racist ideals, whether they want to admit it to themselves or not. And that's very important too. Taking a retrospective look at yourself and thinking, are the things that you are doing, are they racist? Because I was watching American Crime, I talked about it a while ago, and the mom on the show didn't feel like she was racist. Honest to God, she thought that she was just thinking of all, I guess, like all lives matter type rhetoric or whatever, that whatever she was saying just applied to these people, but when she looked at it again, she noticed that she was racist. Nonetheless, whether implicit or explicit in your actions or your thoughts, racism definitely plays a role in a lot of these cases, and you can't take that out. And I think that's just one of the things to take away from this talk that I wanted to have with you guys. Lives are important. We need to restructure society. But people say that all the time, right? We need to restructure society and reframe thought. I think that's fucking hard, because if there are people who don't want you to reframe this thought, this mind process of a segregated divide, that probably will never happen unless there's like aliens or some shit. That's my little theory. I think if aliens came or a third party came in that was powerful than all humans, we would all band together and maybe a lot of this bullshit would stop happening. I don't know. Maybe that's just a wish of mine. I've rambled on far enough. I'll come back to this in another video. I liked what I was talking about today. I guess that's why I talked as long as I did. But if you made it to the end of this video and you like what you heard, don't hesitate to hit the like button. And if you want more content from me, subscribe. So yeah, guys, what do you think about what I had to say? This white fear, the segregated thought, the implicit, explicit thoughts of racism. There's a lot in this video. Tell me in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Yeah, guys, I'm Vandal. Don't forget to keep it 365, and I will talk to you next time with another video. Peace. Bye. I know this whole summer I felt a little bit scared because I didn't really have a plan or any direction with what I was going to do. I did have an idea that I did want to apply for grad school in the fall, but I don't think I was as confident because there are a lot of other things that weren't going my way, especially trying to find